haven't turned this camera on in such a long time. I wasn't even sure if the battery was still gonna be holding a charge. Yeah? Oh, yeah? Yeah. Oh! Howdy, howdy, howdy. November 1st, 2012. Halloween was yesterday. Dressed up as the Hulk. Kind of, sort of. Nobody. Does it count? Does it count if nobody has any idea who you are? I mean, did you really dress up? It was dressing up, but it was also kind of just an excuse to wear casual clothes. Super casual, like jeans and a t-shirt. So, yeah. There was that. Obviously, I've been taking a little bit of an intentional sabbatical for the past few short weeks, and I say intentional because I really didn't. I could have vlogged. I kind of wanted to vlog at times. I just wanted to take a forcible break and stop. And unfortunately, we're at a point where the drive is becoming extraordinarily tedious and boring and annoying. So I thought maybe I'm close to my breaking point on my commute, which I really shouldn't complain about that because, good Lord, if you're in New York, your commute is a fucking bitch, baby. But yes, the tedium of sitting in the car for 30 minutes with nothing to do or say or I figured now would be a good time if I'm at my breaking point to get back to that. But there's other things too. For the first time, I've got pimples. Like, oh, I can feel it. I had a piece of chocolate cake that I probably shouldn't have had. It's just like right on the edge there. I should keep picking at it to make it even more noticeable. I just finished the first draft of Religiously Roasted. And it's weird because what's going on here is this is also the start of NaNoWriMo, National Novel Writing Month. In addition to being Movember, which I kind of would like to participate in, and am totally in the zone to participate in, except when I do shave, which hopefully will be very soon, it will be to continue work on caffeine. So that project itself will prohibit me from participating in Movember. But I will be I will be wearing the socks. I have and I have a t-shirt. So I'll be in spirit. Yes, but at the start of the NaNoWriMo, and I've never done that before. I've never participated. I've never attempted to write a novel in a month. And the other thing is that the premise of NaNoWriMo is to write, for those who don't know, which I think is nobody who's watching this video, I think you all know, write a 50,000 word novel, first draft of a novel, within the month of November. And what that boils down to is about a little over 1,600 words a day that you have to write. And what's interesting, as I was saying, was that of everything I've written and published and sell, I've never written anything. I don't think anything's exceeded 35,000 words. Certainly not 40,000 words. And no way in hell have I ever hit 50,000 words. So I haven't even made a decision about it yet. But here's where I'm at. Number one, religiously, I literally just finished the first draft of Religiously Roasted. And I don't know what I'm calling it. I don't like the title Religiously Roasted. I don't know necessarily what to do. I think Every Goddamn Day might be a better title to run with, but even then, I just haven't locked that down. I haven't pinned that down yet. Pardon me, I'm trying to navigate this traffic. So there's that. But it's done. It's done at a little over 20,000 words. And I know that there's a huge amount of rewrite required. So now that it's out of the way, and I'm in a creative zone, as I have been for a very long time. I also have a happy, healthy new work ethic that's been serving me well for the past few weeks. For the first time ever, NaNoWriMo could be a real possibility. I could be in the zone. It's actually possible, I feel, to tackle it. And what's even better is that I have Monsters in America, which is the sequel to Zaphod Zombie. I have that concept, and that, I would say, probably a good third of the story already blocked out. So I feel like that could be a really, if I'm going to do this and really kind of like focus and try to knock out 1,600 words a day, Monsters in America is a really good project to use that for. To use for that. Something along those lines. Yeah, so that's where I'm at with that. The work ethic is kind of interesting. Since coming back from Vegas and getting married, and I kind of, because I tackled Chris LeBrain, and he was a big inspiration for this idea that, there is so much time in the day, and I only have to look so far as Chris LeBrain to see a person who really takes advantage of that, who really does everything he can possibly do. And, so for the past month or so, and longer than that with Trip, I've been really focusing on, moving forward and taking the steps that I need to take to move forward with the big picture, the grand plan. And I don't know, part of that ended up, I kind of realized that was, acknowledging the talent in others and doing whatever I can to help propel them forward. And clearly the first two people that I'm really zoning in on is Trip and Chris, and they are, after careful consideration and after living with it for a couple of weeks, living with the workload too, I'm pretty confident. I'm pretty confident in these guys and in this decision to back them the way I'm backing them. A note to the workload: I'm not 100% there yet, because with Trip we're getting into a kind of regular we're getting into the regular routine, and we've certainly sampled what the regular routine would be like. With Chris, we've glimpsed it, but we've only got the one video under the belt, and there's some technical issues in getting the video files to me, I guess. Just the time that it takes to upload and transfer and that sort of shit, which is a little ironic, not ironic, but maybe ironic, but certainly amusing, since we live within minutes of each other. Maybe we should just orchestrate a handoff. We should have a breakfast. But then that's the thing, it's still trying to find the time in Chris LeBrain's schedule to sit down for even 5 minutes. Meet you at Denny's for a hamburger and some nachos. maybe. Don't have time for it. So there's that. But I know he's shooting material, so I know it exists. It's just an issue of getting it and getting to work on the edits. I'm not really sure where I was going with that, what the point was, but yeah, I feel, the work ethic. Fundamentally, very basically, and I've been fighting this weird sickness, and I think there's air issues at the office, so I'm literally sick. Work makes me sick, literally. So that's kind of fun. Congestion and all this kind of weird stuff. I'm trying various things to get over it, or to cope with it, as the case may be. But the very basic premise is that I don't want to close out the day without feeling like I've accomplished something that moves me forward. And once I embrace that and realize, I just need to accomplish a single, because, going to work and making a buck, that's not satisfying. That doesn't fulfill my purpose in life. That doesn't justify my existence. That pays the bills to justify my existence, I suppose, or to facilitate my existence. But it just does, that's not it. So, once I kind of just embraced, I'm not going to close out this day without feeling like I've accomplished something important. It was kind of funny, the partnerships, those things fell into place, and that helped me getting back in the zone for Religiously Roasted, and obviously that's done. The first draft is done, ready to move on to the next thing. And that's been the mentality that has been fueling the past few weeks, and I think it's productive. I think maybe I need to figure out a way to apply that to work, because work is getting it's always been rough to deal with, but I think it's probably getting even worse, because it is getting even worse. No probablys about it, because everything else is becoming so rewarding. It's becoming so fruitful, that, when you're staring at that contrast every minute of the day, that's fucking annoying. So, yeah. Good new work ethic. That's propelling me forward. Slacktive, I know you're out there. I know you're out there somewhere. I'm this close to Facebooking your girlfriend and getting some kind of status update on you. Dude, I'm not gonna forget about you. Might not talk about you, but I'm not forgetting about you. I miss you, man. Matty Ho is out there as well. I don't know if he's watching. I kind of thought he might have forgotten about me, but I just got an email from him today, so I know he is. He's still with us. Emily is surviving. My thoughts are with you and your family, of course. My grandparents are somewhere in Jersey, somewhere near the coast, so I am imagining that they have no home anymore. Welcome to the real world of Pocablog, right? It sucks, but that's life. Gets better from here, right? Anyway, Jenzatron just had a birthday. Happy birthday, Jen! Shiny on the inside. That's alright. He goes sad, happy. That's how we roll. That's how we roll. And I mentioned this on Facebook today. I've been doing a lot of work, obviously. That new work ethic. So there's a revised Horborong homepage, and it's kind of it's a major revision in comparison, because actually one of the cool things that I put in place, if you haven't noticed, is the Horborong homepage playlist. What's really cool about that is that it's the playlist component, and all I do is cycle the videos. I put on YouTube, I just cycle videos. I can put whatever video without changing code, without publishing the site. You know, it's very simple just to, you know, add, subtract, or reorder videos in that playlist on YouTube, and that automatically updates to the website. So that's a cool little tiny component that's been there for a while. That's part of the webcams relaunch, yada yada yada. But beyond that, you know, the original relaunch or redesign of the web page was the playlist, and then very book centric. There was like that L bar of book graphics, book paraphernalia. It was pretty cool. And that was good, but I kind of felt like there was, you know, I knew that there was a lot of potential below the scroll, beyond the scroll, below the scroll. So I think after, you know, the partnerships were established and kind of getting back into the swing of the creative beast and things and whatevs, it seemed like a good time to expand the homepage and really live up to that nickname I've given. You know, it's the literal name, the Horborong homepage, but it's also like a figurative sort of nickname, wherein it's, you know, that this is the homepage. You could watch something on YouTube, or you could watch it at its home. You know, and I wanted it to live up to that name better, that the spirit of the name, I suppose. So I just added more content to that page, highlighted the partnerships, and then at the bottom there's these three more. Well, there's the Facebook and Twitter, and then there's these three components. I think it's two playlists, Touching Gadgets and a pocket blog. Those I will change and rotate whenever I feel like, swap out with other video content. And then the last part is just a big link to the galleries, the gallery page. But yeah, I posted, so that's the new page, and I had posted about Touching Gadgets earlier today on Facebook. Something very close to close along the lines of I should do more Touching Gadget videos because between the two that I originally did, I have 22,000 views. I have over 22,000 views. 22, and those are, honest to goodness, unmessed around with, no SEO. Those are genuine, 22,000 genuine views, and some of those things, they're actually still climbing. It's funny, and they get comments. And it's not like Socialism Explained, you know, that video from years ago. There's some assholes out there. Obviously, it's YouTube, but some of it is really, really genuine and positive. So when I was typing the description for Horborong, for the Touching Gadgets playlist, I realized it was very simple. I realized what it was very simply, you know, the most irreverent gadget reviews on YouTube, and proud of it. You know, when I decided to do those videos in the first place, just like these car test drives that I've done for work, it's like, what can I really do that brings something fresh to the table? You know, if you're looking for gadget reviews online, there's a shit ton. I mean, and YouTube, you know, makes it, I mean, there's a shit ton of professional ones, but even more amateur first-hand accounts, users, people doing this sort of thing. It's all over the place. There's literally nothing new that you could possibly bring to the table if you're just doing a straight-up review of a gadget. So really, when I originally did this, I was like, okay, how can I combine my love of gadgetry and my love of, you know, creative video production? And that's how I came up with the puppet show, which is actually a really funny throwback to the very first internet video series I ever did, Nonsensical Madness, just with gadgets. It was so to see, you know, Nonsensical Madness was this, you know, working with what I had, a cup, a can of peas, a Game Boy Advance, you know, or Game Boy, what was the clamshell one? It was a Game Boy Advance, I don't know. But to have done those, you know, at you know, a little after the dawn of YouTube. This was actually before the dawn of YouTube. Those were on my website. You know, and wallow in obscurity with these things. And they probably weren't all that great. But to have done those things and never really got anywhere with them, to have a literal spiritual successor in touching gadgets that, for all intents and purposes, seems to be kind of successful, is pretty cool. So, long story short, today I wrote a new touching gadgets script. And I don't know if it's good or not, but it's the first draft, and I will tweak it and make it more silly and ridiculous, and I'm gonna shoot something with it. And there you go. I'm home, and that was a wonderful drive. The first wonderful drive I've had in a while. So thank you. Stay creative. I love you guys. Emily. Thinking about you.